cannot give you back your homes or restore your dead to life, but perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our king.
I think we're live. We're live. What's up, everybody?
How's everybody doing
Dilly
tonight?
dilly, cow dubs. No. What a damn day of football. Hello, everyone. Sorry we were fashionably late, as you can tell.
Yeah.
with a my shit was scanning. It was scanning for viruses, so I apologize.
And there's been viruses in this house this week.
Yes.
Yes, I'm recovering from the flu.
Yeah. And now I'm getting something going on too. Anyway, we're here. Hello, Paula Rose, Jessica, Evan, Aaron, Nakia, Matthew, Mel Hoffman. How you doing? Slope, Mackenzie.
What's going on, guys?
Rough Girl. There's Cameo. Hadn't seen Cameo in a while. Ocean Mist, Jason Weeks, Dragons, 5616, Danny Jeter. What's up?
What's going on, guys?
No, Kyle, don't happen. Amanda Kane, what's up? JoJo, Gnome Friend, Carl Swenson, Legal Jedi in the house, Jen Lamb, Marty, there's Kyle again, Boldy Spirit, hey there,
Marty,
Her
what's
Monster
up?
Highness, Everdome, Miss Defiance, Nightbot's in the house.
Yes, indeed.
Cape to Goat, Trey Hardy, Deborah Bree Love, Rough Girl, Jason. So yeah, and damn Carol, I guess Carol said she's sick.
Yeah.
She's not feeling good either. So I think everybody's got something.
The flu is sweeping the nation.
Yes, got something. Everybody's got something. There's Celtic Moon. There's Doc Holliday. Yeah, we had the UFC on here a minute ago, Doc. We just had to mute it. Gorlock, Fractured Empiricists, Anthony, Carl, Sarah Proudlift.
There's
Proudfit.
Mama Smokescreen in the house.
We got Mama Smokescreen. Did you see her?
Yeah, see her right there.
Oh,
What's going on,
what's
Mama?
up, Mama? Let's see here. Fred Targaryen's uncle's daddy. Uncle Daddy. All right. So I guess before we get started with questions, I know we had a lot of Patreons already post questions and all that good stuff, I think. Yeah, there's a few there. We have to give away a DVD set, correct?
Yes, we do.
So I guess we're going to do
Tonight.
that in the beginning of this video, in case. So when it publishes, somebody wants to watch the whole damn thing or fast forward to the end. So I'm trying to think before I do that if there's anything else. There's any got news? Not really. Not really a whole lot going on as far as, I mean, obviously it's just filming and all that good stuff. So no real got news going on. All right, so let's see, what is
I was reading that about.
Joe Rogan? Is that what you were reading? What Ian was saying? Be right back, Joe Rogan. Can we get Joe Rogan on here?
Oh, man.
Yeah, we both listen to Joe Rogan a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually saw one of his episodes where he went to a live stream and all of a sudden all his viewers started blowing it up.
Oh, really?
Awesome,
That's cool.
yeah.
So he like rated somebody.
All his listeners.
Count Ripula, yeah, you're a Chiefs fan, yeah. Hey, but I'm just saying, who dat? How about that, huh?
That was rough, Saints.
Yes, it was. And I know D Brown. I saw you post earlier. I saw the email come in. I know you're a Saints fan, so hey, welcome to the couch along with the rest of us. I mean, Atlanta, the NFC South just got knocked out.
Yes, we did.
Period. Strongest division of football. Okay, so
Purple
all right,
Haze.
let's draw this winner here. Let's draw this winner for the Game of Thrones Season 7 Blu-ray set with all the extras and all that good stuff. So let me jump over here to my page. Is everybody ready? I think we're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. So yeah, let's draw a winner, chicken dinner. All right, drum roll. Here we go. The winner is bam. Entry number 378, Tracy Lynn Thiel, I believe. Tracy Lynn Thiel from Cali, USA, California. All right. So Tracy Lynn Thiel, congrats on the Season 7 Blu-ray. Hit me up on the back end of the channel. You can go to the messages section there, or you can also email me at chris@smokescreenvids.com, and you'll just I'll verify your email address and all that stuff that it's you, and I will ship that to you ASAP. So again, Tracy Lynn Thiel from Cali.
If you normally don't even comment, at least say yay or something if you're here tonight.
Yeah.
Let me know if you're watching.
Exactly. All right. So congrats, Tracy. We'll do some more of these. Maybe some more Blu-ray sets and stuff like that. So we love doing giveaways. It's fun.
It is so fun.
It's fun. So we'll do some more. So yeah, hopefully Tracy will see this. And I actually, was it George, I believe, that got the book? Just tagged me on Facebook a couple of days ago. He finally got the book and tagged me in it. The last
cool.
book we gave away, so that's cool. All right. So let's see. Let's jump over here to Patreon really quick and start with these questions. Let's see here. Let me get up to the top here. Legal Jedi starts it off on Patreon. Thank you, Legal Jedi.
Thank you, Legal.
Appreciate that. The Master of Whispers. What do we know about Varys? Did he really switch baby Aegon to deceive the Lannisters? Since he is wanting Targaryen restoration, what does he really know about Jon's parentage? Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear. I mean, I don't know about the baby swap, but I don't think that Fagon in the books, this is the book only thing, I don't think he's a Targaryen. I think he believes he is.
Right.
But I think he's a Blackfire, and that will come to light. So if that's the case, then Aegon probably did die. He probably really didn't switch anybody, because all you need is the traits, and that makes you question: is he a Blackfire? Is Varys a Blackfire? Why does he want? But he served the Mad King for 20 years. Why didn't he plan something earlier? Did he know? I don't know. So I don't know about if he's actually a Blackfire, or really if it matters. I think as far as the show goes, a lot of people had questioned, is he going to betray Dany and all that stuff? I don't think so. It makes no sense in the narrative, because he planned this from the get-go. From the very first season.
Worked so hard.
Yeah, from the very first season.
Watched it all come together.
Exactly. So I don't see that happening for sure. And as far as Jon's parentage, I don't think he knows. I think that's a curveball.
I do too.
Because it was
it's gonna really catch him.
Exactly.
When he finds out, he'll be like, "How did I not find that out?"
Exactly.
You know
because
why?
you had this one maester that did it.
It was freaking Ned Stark. Don't tell secrets.
That's right. All right. Lord Commander Manny on Patreon. No, I just have two questions to be answered. First is the Tyrion joke. And finally, who is Howland Reed? Is he real? Yes, LC Manny, I agree. We need to hear the honeycomb and jackass joke.
Yes, we
need to hear the punchline. And Howland Reed is real. I'm pretty sure. I think we'll see him, especially in the books. The show, they may do something, but I don't see why you have the big conversation with Bran and Mira and Jojen and the whole thing to follow the books pretty close with the stories about Howland Reed. Then you see him in the flashback for him not to show up in this end game and notably not be there during the big talk, Jon coronation and Robb coronation and all that stuff.
He'll be there this season.
So I think obviously that's tied to the God's Eye stuff. Let's see, Randy Sumatsu. Thank you, Randy. Thanks for the stream, guys. Always enjoyable. Still thinking about Howland Reed, another Howland Reed. Bran and Jojen traveled all those miles, had a lot of conversations, yet we never learned anything at all about what he's been up to, where he is. The only thing we hear is that Howland cried when Ned died, so either way they talked about him off screen or not at all, which just seems weird when you're Dad's best friend, which exactly what we've been saying, like if they're best friends, where's he at? And you both had these green dreams. WTF? It must be intentional on the showrunner's part to keep the mystery up.
I think that's exactly what it is.
I think you're exactly right. I think you're dead on. And we talked about this a little bit last week. People were asking, well, they hadn't really talked about the God's Eye. Tywin mentioned it once in passing. But you did have a little bit of Harrenhal, and right there, edit. So I think they still have time to introduce that, because you have seen Harrenhal. You're familiar with the Riverlands, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They still have time to introduce it, because ultimately, it's not that the place that matters so much. It's just this particular place, because we're thinking it's the magical kind of epicenter, brain of the operation. So they still would have time to introduce that in a way that you know what I'm saying, that you've heard about it.
Yeah, you think about it. If you were them, you're gonna bring it into play right at like the 11th hour.
Right.
Because it's the big secret. It's the big reveal.
Yeah, if they do, like the books, obviously you have hints all through it. I think we talked about a lot of those in the Endgame video part 5. But anyway, yeah, I think that's definitely still they have time for that. But again, in the show, I don't know why they would keep mentioning him and show him in the past and not bring him back as a modern time.
Right.
All right. So yeah, I think they're holding their cards close to their chest. They didn't want to give anything away. Rough Girl, thank you, Rough Girl, on Patreon as well. What's up, dudes? The state of Game of Thrones' stark dire wolves makes me sad. I think it would be cool as the show was going to off. We see a mother wolf feeding a new pack. It'd also be cool to see a future track of the survivors raising their young. New life begins, new adventures. Yeah, we kind of talked about that in a way when we were talking about the dragon egg scene. It's very similar.
It is very similar.
If you have
it's
a little,
first thing I thought of when she said that.
Yeah, when you have this dream of spring type thing, and there's some closing shot. Maybe all the magic goes away, or we think, but there's always some kind of small. I don't know what you'd call it, natural magic on low levels, or I don't know what you would say. And then you have this closing shot of dragon eggs, or maybe there is a pup somewhere that Nymeria had in the pack, or Ghost, or whatever, when he was running off one time. That would be cool.
The only thing is that animals go extinct.
That's true, and that's part of the bitter part of everything. It is. That's true.
No more big dogs.
That's true. So and that's could be where we're heading with no magical creatures at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
Although technically, I guess the dire wolves are not magical. It's just that they can be bonded with. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's really kind of unclear.
I see what you're saying.
Even in the books. But then again, it's mentioned that the children. I think Leaf says at the brand in the book something about they'll have their time too. They're going away essentially. So, all right, Sean Gold on Patreon. Thank you, Sean. So what's going on in the Vale these days? A good question. Nothing really, because all the army is up at Winterfell, apparently, and Littlefinger's no longer in charge. So, who's breastfeeding little Robin? Yeah, exactly. I mean, who cares, right? I mean, Jan Royce was up in Winterfell, so we didn't see little Robin. Where was he at?
Dude.
He just left him there. So I guess he's just sitting down the Erie. Will the Night King pay him a visit, or just bypass that area completely? The Vale is not on the Night King's immediate path to the God's Eye, though. Now, is it safe to say all the Knights of the Vale is still in Winterfell? It was Sansa. Yeah, I believe that's the implication. They didn't go back to the Vale after the death of Littlefinger, right? Nope. So I guess they will join forces with Jon, Dany, Sansa, defend the Winterfell. Will Robin still rule the Vale after the Night King is defeated? Is he mentally fit to rule? Yeah. So I think generally you kind of answered your own question. I think they are there. They are still there. They're going to join up. They already saved them. They're still there. Littlefinger was under control of them, and now it'll go to Jan Royce, assuming that Robin wasn't just another room somewhere.
Yeah.
Which, you know what I mean? Like he was off, but they could play that role. They could play that like he was just off in another part of the castle or something. But yeah, I think they just kind of pushed him off to the side for the show. So we're assuming he's still there. Obviously, it's a lot different than the books.
Maybe Arya, being his first cousin, was like, "Hey, you stay over here," because she knew what was about to happen.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, that's true.
I don't want you to see him,
kind of
see what I'm about to do.
Yeah, exactly. Because he does look up to Littlefinger. He's always like almost like a father, and maybe his father actually.
Yeah, it could be.
So yeah, I mean, I think they kind of pushed him off to the side. I think that's what they did basically. So as far as when this thing's over, I think it's safe to say at this point, I think it's a good chance he's still there, unless something happens in the books and he dies or whatever, because obviously you got a different situation with Sansa in the books being there and stuff like that. But show-wise, I think they just kind of said, let's just kind of push him over here. But I've always wondered when they talked about the Bloody Gate and it being impregnable, and Bronn says, give me 20 men and I'll impregnate the bitch. I've always wondered if that's going to be a point of contention in the war.
Yeah,
like the Vale has to be a stronghold. So I've always wondered that, but I doubt it. I doubt it.
It is a hell of a stronghold. And as far as the end of that, will he rule the Vale after this is all over? What do you think about that? Because you talk a lot about how things are going to be different this time when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I mean,
but there still has to be a head of
yeah. I mean,
place.
I think there's going to be like this combo type thing, or whatever, like we talked about. So I would imagine. I can't think of anything in the show, at least, that would make that change. You know what I mean? He did grow up a little bit, and he's a sorry warrior.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he gets away from Lysa now that she's dead, and Littlefinger's no longer there, somebody could actually kind of get him straightened out a little bit. I don't know.
I believe that's possible.
So in the show, I don't even think we'll maybe even get an answer for that. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I don't know. I think they may just kind of leave it where it's
I think you're right too.
So I don't.
They
think
got bigger things to focus on
exactly
with this limited space.
So you just got to assume that he gave the permission to Littlefinger. They rode off with the army to save the day and battle the bastards, and he just stayed behind in his little castle.
Trembling.
D Brown, thank you, D Brown on Patreon. I can't, my freaking saints.
Bless your heart.
D Brown, I know the pain. I know the pain. I'm sorry, kinda. I don't know. Look. I have mixed emotions about the whole thing. You know how that is because we're rivals. But you know, I'm not petty. So, but at the same time,
you like to see good plays in football.
I do.
You know, it's a reminder that anything's possible.
Absolutely.
We were excited.
Yeah. I can't say I wasn't excited about the play. I'm sorry.
Right.
I can't
It's
say
just
that.
an incredible ending.
Also, D. Brown, on a side note, do you think when the Mad King said burn them all, he meant magic and therefore he knew it would mean the end of the dragons too? Would he have meant dragons knowing his family history? I do think if you go along with our idea of the God's Eye and burn them all, kind of takes on a whole new meaning.
I agree totally.
So, I mean, it still could very well be. I still think it's probably, whether it means, the werewoods like we're talking about or whites or whatever. I still think Bloodraven had something to do with that a little bit. He was going crazy, and that runs in their family, but I think that's why he knows to lie to Bran and say, don't fuck with the past.
That's right.
Because he tried. He tried to, and screwed up, learned from it, and said, no, Bran, you can't do that. But Bran knows it's not true. So I think, I don't think he necessarily would mean like dragons specifically burn them all as in either werewoods or whites. And that's what he was getting the messages from Bloodraven.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
And it sounded like crazy talk to
like
anybody around him.
Like burn them all literally, and as far as the city. Because at that time it would make sense in that context.
In that context that they were living in right at that moment.
Exactly. Let me check up here really quick. Everybody can hear us okay, right? I guess it's a little late to ask.
Yeah.
I should have asked that to make sure because I know we always kind of, I think we're good. I don't see anybody complaining. So we're good to go here. Okay, I'll get back to these chat questions in just a second. Let me grab. Okay, let's see. Mel Hoffman Q&A. Thank you, Mel. I think Mel's in Australia. Is that right? I think that's correct.
You are correct.
With all the talk of the God's Eye being the last stand and speculation on Howland Reed's whereabouts, damn, Howland Reed's on roll tonight. If we go with the theory that Howland Reed is now residing on the God's Eye and holds a role in bringing about the dawn, are we considering the Crennamen are related to the children? First men mating with children of the forest, and if so, is Howland now the last child and he removes the dragon glass from the chest of the Night King? This still leaves the way open for Dany or Jon to die and the others sit on the Iron Throne and raise the baby alone. Yeah, so I will totally agree with that, Mel. I've said in many videos before, I think it's the way they're described in the books. The Cranning, the Reeds in particular, are definitely interbred with the Children of the Forest.
Yep.
There's too many comparisons. Their stature, the way they dress, the green, all that good stuff. So I definitely think that's the case. And that gives, that's kind of why Jojen and maybe even Howland has these green dreams. It's not a full-fledged warg or whatever, or green seer, but the green dream. So I definitely think that's the case. And as far as Howland Reed, I don't know. I've always struggled with what exactly is his role. Is it to say, okay, Jon is confirmed? Yes, what he's saying over here, where he goes into warg mode, and that is true. I was there. Or is it to do something? He's been back to the Isle of Faces, I'm sure. He's the only one alive that's trained, whatever that means, with the Green Man.
Whatever that means.
Exactly, whatever that means. So I think he's at least been back and forth there, and maybe that's why he was there at the time that Robb and Jon, maybe for the last couple of years. I don't know, but Mira and Jojen hadn't said that directly, but they said he has been back. But in the books, I will say this: Jojen says specifically when Bran says, "Did he see the Green Man?" and Mira, says yes. But that's a story for another time. So I think that's kind of like, okay, yeah, we're going to answer that in the books for sure.
Right. So
the show, again, it's hard to tell.
What do you think about him being the one to pull the glass out?
I think it's a possibility. I mean, it's like, that's what I mean. Like, is he there just to tell Jon to do something? But it almost takes away from Jon if he can do it.
Exactly.
If there's something like that where it's got to be removed. you would think that the blood of John, some magical thing has to happen for that to happen.
That's what I think.
So, but
I
could see. I don't know. It's almost getting a little sloppy with Bran and Howland Reed if they both know things. You know, if Howland Reed tells John, "Hey, this is what you got to do," then where does Bran fit in? You know what I mean? So it's tough. It's tough to kind of
and Sam for that matter.
And Sam with the actual
Good
records,
point.
right? So it's hard to tell, but it's hard to kind of guess because we've only seen the flashback, and we and the backstory. So we know it's important there. That's what we know. Let's see. Legal Jedi. I'm curious to know who are like the former three-eyed raven will be revealed as living in the roots of the God's Eye's weirwood trees. Any guesses? That's a good point.
I thought about that at one point.
I was going to say, any green seers, like I think there was obviously green seers all back through history, and eventually there was just a few left, and they started recruiting the new, like Blood Raven got recruited, just like he recruited Bran.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know about any. I don't think there's anybody physically left, obviously, because that's why Blood Raven was recruited, and Bran then recruited to replace him. So, but in the books, at least, when they die, they do go into the trees, essentially, all their memories and knowledge and all that, Borg mentality stuff. So, I don't know about if anybody's physically there. That would be a shocker.
Yeah, and if that is the hub, so to speak, man, Blood Raven picked a shitty place to latch into a tree, didn't he?
Exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we know that the God's Eye is the place where they did the Hammer of the Water, supposedly, and broke the Arm of Dorne and all that stuff, and then flooded the neck. So, something big is going to happen there again. That's where we get our ideas from anyway. Halse Griffin. What's up, Halse? Q&A, I think we'll get some payoff. Sam taking Heartsbane. Do you think it was just him standing up for himself? Uber passengers are a bit more sober this Sunday. Hopefully they remember to follow you this time.
That's funny.
Thank you, Halse. And anybody in Halse's Uber car right now, thanks for listening. I do think there's... I could see it both ways. As a big fuck you to his father, Randall.
Sure.
But I could
it's
also...
definitely that.
Yeah, it's definitely right. It's definitely that.
Now,
but with the name Heartsbane, and we've talked about the heart thing before. Now with the heart tree,
and him bringing this big, heavy sword with him all over this, it's coming back. It's
exactly. So I think it comes into play. I do, and not necessarily Longclaw that everybody expects just because John has it now.
Yep.
So I definitely think Heartsbane comes back into it, especially with that name. And we've mentioned that a few times before about. He could have grabbed any sword. He could have grabbed any steel, just if he wanted protection.
Yeah.
But he grabbed that, for one, like you said, a definite fuck you to Dad. But Heartsbane, come on. I mean, the name says a lot.
The man's a good writer.
Yes, he is. Let's see. Also, Rough Girl, has there been any word on the prequel that will be about? What it will be about? Not officially, but they have said that the only thing I've heard recently is that there will be familiar houses or bloodlines. So that rules out any ancient stuff.
That's great.
So I still think it's going to head back to probably the Targaryen kings or maybe the Valyrians, the start of the Targaryen dynasty. Because if you think about it, if familiar bloodlines, it wouldn't be the Long Night. It wouldn't be, the age of the Dawn Age, because there was no Starks. There were no Targaryens.
There you go.
So it's got to be, and of course they've already said they're not doing Robert's Rebellion. They're not doing, I believe it was Dunk and Egg, because those are still being written.
You've said that before.
So that you take those things out, and you're only, there's only certain periods of time with Targaryens and Starks, etc., that you can deal with. So I'm guessing it's going to be related to the Targaryen. That's just a guess, but they have said you will have familiar bloodlines. That's the only update I think that I know of. Let's see, D Brown again. Okay, moving on. I really believe Bran is the Night King, and I think he warred into the guy, and the three-eyed Raven warred into Bran, thus making him Emo Bran. I think that's why you see knowing looks between the Night King and Jon. Hashtag Proto Stark.
D, a lot of people feel like you do. I don't buy into that theory personally. but nothing's shocking with me anymore. You know,
Right.
I won't be shocked by anything. I just personally don't buy into that.
Yeah, and D, I'll say I don't either. I never have. As a matter of fact, we did on the Side Effect podcast, the podcast I do with Val and Tarzan and Kevin. We did an episode, so look that up on. It's not on YouTube again because I'm still. I got to re-upload all the old stuff to the new channel. For anybody that's not familiar, I do a podcast, and our YouTube channel was shut down for whatever reason. We're still not sure, and I had to redo a channel, so I have to re-upload all those.
Too much nudity.
Yeah, it's right. Too much nudity on a podcast. But no, it's on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play. But I don't remember the episode number, but it is in the title, I remember. So if you look that up on SoundCloud, the Side Effect Podcast or iTunes or whatever, we do we're doing a series. Well, it's going to be an occasional series, I should say, where we break down or shoot down theories. And we did
Great
this Night
series.
King theory. And I think we shot it down pretty good. It ultimately, and I'll give you the short, really, really short version. Ultimately, it makes no sense because if Bran is not in control of the Night King now, and then at some point in the future he has to go into warg mode to warg the guy that got stabbed, then at some point Bran's just going to fall over and never wake up again. It makes no sense if you think about it that way. You know what I mean? There's no proof that he could warg the guy anyway. Why would he warg the guy,
Right.
attached to the tree as opposed to somebody doing the stabbing or something like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But ultimately, if you think about it, that would mean that in a future episode, Bran would have to go into warg mode and never come out because he would be stuck,
Yeah.
and then he would die. He would wither up and die, and then if he's still not in control, what's the point? Because he's stuck somewhere, not in control.
Yeah.
So what he's doing now, it doesn't make any sense when you think about it in this scheme of things. Anyway, we've written a lot of detail in that episode and shot that down. Let's see. Manny says free Howlin' Reed. I think you had a hashtag there. I agree. LC
Had
Manny.
they not done I'm just back on that point. Had they not done the whole weird thing with Hodor, people wouldn't even be thinking like this.
That's exactly right.
But that blew everybody's mind and got it going in a million
with
directions.
the time loops thing.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, and like I said before, a couple well-placed time loops I have no problems with. But to overdo it with Bran does everything or causes everything, I don't think he's going to go that direction. All right, let's see. LC Manny again. What would have been the point to the whole story? And mention this man if you're never going to be on the show. D&D, please, you drone, don't fuck up Howlin' Reed too. Yeah, I mean, I agree. We got to see him at least. I mean, he may die or whatever. We got to see him like confirm things just to see him, this legendary
That's what's
guy,
gonna happen.
and we got to see it. D Brown again. I'm sober now. I understand. What if the children made the Night King and he knew he would go rogue? Do you think they thought this through and knew they would come back to attack and gain the army? Do you think that's what they wanted? No, I don't think so. I don't think. I think that's kind of the point. Is they went to a magical area and they went and did something it wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't just normal magic. It was a no-no, and that's what threw the seasons off balance, and they had no idea what the hell they were doing. And
Exactly
they made a
right.
mistake. In other words, they made
They did.
an honest mistake trying to protect themselves because they couldn't do the fighting. So I don't think that they're evil. I don't think there's any other agenda. I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
And because they helped the Night's Watch for thousands, they used to give them dragon glass every single year.
Right.
There's too many other things that could have happened, other ways it could have went. So I don't think they knew that was going to happen. I think it was an honest mistake, but it shows you the severity of that huge
It does.
mistake.
And it's the point.
It's kind of the point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of the point. Exactly. La La Gig, hello, La La Gig. I just see some hearts
Once
there.
you push the button, you can't unpush it.
That's right. That's kind of the point.
Yep.
Exactly.
Because you told
the
me
nuclear
how he is
option.
about war.
Yep, absolutely. La La Gig. So, can we equate the White Walker King to the One Ring? Once it's destroyed, everything is tied to it destroyed. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I will say we predicted the whole kill one, the rest of them fall thing.
We sure did.
We predicted that in Dragon, and then that happened in season 7 with the one White Walker. So now you've learned that whoever turns, those whites all die.
That's right.
Once you kill a walker. So of course the Night King, Beric Dondarrion pointed out, kill him, and they all drop. Kind of confirmed that.
Yeah, I love that scene.
So I think that's the case for sure as far as him, and that's what we're kind of saying about the God's Eye. if that's the source of magic,
Yep.
you take the heart tree, you take out the heart, the rest of it falls. Let's see, Mel Hoffman on Patreon as well. Let's see, Jeremy Perry. I'm not sure. Make sure. You got a question from Jeremy, I guess, from Jeremy Perry.
I guess so.
I guess. Do you think the sword Mira grabbed from the cave was Dark Sister, or are they just going to forget that sword? Yeah, okay. So,
all right. Tell them.
Do you think the book they grabbed Blood Ravens, wood bow, and arrows? Yeah, so I thought this is what happened. Okay, that episode.
That's good.
I spotted that, and I put it in the episode. It kind of blew up a little bit that season. And then it got Pri Figueredo. I don't know if you're watching tonight. If you are, hello. She writes for what's the website? I'm about to forget. Comicbook.com.
I've heard it a million times.
Movie Pilot. Thank you. Moviepilot.com, and she actually used that video and pointed that out and published that article on moviepilot.com, which is really, really cool.
That was
to be mentioned on moviepilot.com. So that was cool, and that's exactly what I put in there. I thought it could be Dark Sister, but then after further investigation, because they leaned the sword up against the tree with the Benjen scene.
Yep.
And it ended up being that was Benjen's sword from season 1 from the Night's Watch.
Yeah, and he took it back. He paused it on TV. I mean, they're identical.
Identical sword. So I think they're just the show for sure is going to forget Dark Sister and Blackfire and all the Targaryen relics and all that stuff. So unfortunately in the show it is not Dark Sister. The books I'm sure we'll see and hear of Dark Sister at least, and maybe Blackfire too. All right. Do you think... Lala Gig. Thank you, Lala. Do you think Danny will apologize to Sam for killing his dad and brother, and will Sam then say, and they were tools? I think she will, and Sam will be mad about Dickon.
His brother, yep.
But Randall, it's another, okay, fuck him, but you didn't have to kill my brother. So there'll be a little drama. But it's part of that drama about her being a Targaryen. Yeah. They can't be trusted. John's got to defend her about what she did, and then of course he ends up being one. So it's all part of that same kind of dramatic bubble that's got to burst right there.
But yeah, it'll bum him out.
Lala Gig says, James, you need a hot tea with lemon.
I do indeed.
and I will soon. I can feel it coming. Daniel Carter on Patreon. Thank you, Daniel. When do you think Callan rediscovered or became aware of the White Walkers and their plan to invade? I believe it was certainly before Ned died. Yeah, I mean, I've always wondered that's the kind of the question. When he goes back to the Isle of the Green Men, what is he learning there? What is he studying?
Yeah, that's what we're dying to know.
It's what we're all dying to know. He's got to know something. But I think if he knew exactly at the same time, because we've all questioned, does he have some kind of green sight? Mm-hmm. I don't know if he does. I know, just because Jojen did, but it's like if he knew that a long, long time ago, why would he not start warning Ned then?
Good,
because they're best friends, and he would at least listen to him. He wouldn't think he was crazy necessarily.
That's a great
so
point.
I don't think he would know exactly what's going to happen. At least not back then. Maybe now, but he would warn somebody earlier, I think. Doc Holliday, you were talking about Varys at the beginning. Don't you think you have to learn what Ned said in that letter he gave to Varys? Maybe it tells Jon where to find... Yeah, I mean, I do think there's got to be something on that. But I went back and I was looking, and I don't remember the show being a letter. Do you remember a letter in the show?
Yeah.
Was it? Mm-hmm. Okay, I haven't. I was redoing.
You talking about when Ned was locked up?
Yes.
He gave. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was trying, because I hadn't got there in the. I think it's the next
when you're
couple
doing
scenes.
your
I was looking for that specifically again, thinking, okay, there's going to be a tie in here, but I hadn't came across. So you would think that would be, done by now. You know what I mean? Because Varys has already got Danny over. Now Jon's on the team.
Yeah, good point.
Where did that letter go? I mean, they didn't forget about that plot hole. So I don't know.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be like almost too late. I mean, unless he's just like, oh, shit, I forgot I had this from, 3 years ago.
I've had so much on my mind.
I don't. So yeah, it's weird if they. It's a big hole if they don't. I'll say that. Mm-hmm. I mean, it seems like that needs to. Maybe I don't know though. If he's read it, maybe it's got instructions about when. So it just depends on the
Another
content.
good point. Good thinking.
You know
If
he's
it
ready.
did,
You know he's ready.
Oh, you damn right. As soon as he rounded the corner,
Absolutely.
candle torch right on it.
So yeah, that's the question. Does that goes back to the Varys thing? If he read it and it does have information about his parentage, Varys knew this whole time.
No shit.
So that's true. That is a new little twist on things. Let me put some thought into that. That may be a video.
Yeah, that will be.
Yeah, let me put some thought into that for sure.
Yeah, you got to pop one out on that.
Let's see. Mel Hoffman, really quick. Old Sinbad at Smokescreen. This may have been discussed before. But is there a chance that the swords used to make the throne were Valyrian steel, so the throne would need to be destroyed to make weapons? Yeah, Mel, I mentioned that before. I don't think they're Valyrian steel. I don't think that Aegon the Conqueror would have wasted them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's pretty much been said. But I have said that I think because that was what Aegon had forged with Valyrian.
Mm-hmm.
That's the symbol of all this war and all this stuff, right?
Right.
That it will be destroyed. It will be melted down, but not because of the Valyrian steel. I don't think they would waste it.
Right.
Because even then, they didn't know how to make it. Aegon.
I've asked the same question.
Yep. Let's see. Rough girl, James, you need a hot toady.
A hot toddy.
Oh,
toddy. Heavy on the
I'm
toddy.
sorry. Heavy on the toddy.
Yes, I do.
Yes, thank you, Michael Smith. The episode for that podcast I was talking about, the Night King theory, is episode 13.
These
the
people
brand
are
theory.
the best.
Thank you, Michael. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Michael Smith.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, so yeah, episode 13. Look that up for the Night King theory. And I'll get that back on YouTube as well. I got to get all those re-uploaded. All right, let's see what we got up in here. Purple Haze super chat. Thank you, Purple Haze.
All right.
What happened to Joffrey's sword? Well, one got thrown in the river, and then Jaime now has Heartsbane. Heart Eater got thrown in the river. The original sword, if that's the one you're talking about, and they just really didn't recover it.
Yeah, I don't know
Like
why.
it didn't sink right there.
I know.
You walk out in a little
That's so
creek
crazy.
and pick up the sword. But now Jaime now has the other Valyrian still half of ice, if that's what you're talking about. So there has been a lot of questions. Will Brienne, since Brienne is going with Oathkeeper, and then you have the other half there in the same place now with Jaime, will they redo ice at some point?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, if they could, but then you got to have, did Tabo Mott teach other people, like Gendry perhaps, to reforge ice? It could happen.
Here's a crazy thought I've had. If they were forged, with magic, and we get rid of the magic,
exactly,
they kind of lose their effectiveness.
Exactly. Well, that's the question, right? Is anything built by magic destroyed, or like for example, somebody asked about Jon, here's the thing, I don't think Jon's a fire white, but he's not kept alive by magic, so therefore if magic ends, he's not just going to drop dead.
Right.
He was brought back with magic, not kept alive. So there's a difference.
That's right. He is not kept alive by magic.
So so Jaime has that sword right now, and we'll see if they end up doing that or not. Will with the super chat, thank you, Will. Germ said that Jon's father is Ned and that mother's a Chardane. Don't be sad. No. Hey, look, here's the thing. I wouldn't be sad anyway, but that ain't what Germ said. That's all I'm saying. Don't forget the other the other half of the Ned looks like Jon stuff is the Arya piece and the Arya Lyanna piece. Remember the proxy there. The proxy is Arya.
Yeah.
The link between Jon and Arya and how close they are, and then Arya looks like Lyanna and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget the other side of that argument. So Ashara Dane is, again, this is what I've said, and to be real for a second. I mean, I am being real, but what I've said seriously. Ashara Dane is Ned's backstory, not Jon's.
That's right.
That's his love story that he had to break and go, leave, throw love to the side for honor and duty. I mean, that's what it's about.
Yep.
That's Ned's backstory with Ashara. I do think they were in love. Ricky Gerard, thank you, Ricky.
Thank you.
Hey, do you believe the white version, the white Viserion, will die by the Golden Company, seeing how this namesake was killed by a golden crown? That's a good thought. That's cool. I do think that they will end up fighting for the living and betray Cersei and break the contract. So that's a good idea. The Golden Company kind of a little shout out to that, a little foreshadowing that you kill Viserion again, essentially, with gold in that way.
That's cool.
That's kind of cool. That's a cool thought. That is cool.
Really cool.
I tend to think it's going to be a dragon versus dragon battle, like the old days. Dance of the Dragons 2.0 is the way I'd picture it, but that's a great idea, actually.
I'll totally picture it being that way, too.
I can see them with a trebuchet or something, slinging something at him. That'd be cool. All right, let's grab a few questions up here in the chat really quick. I just heard something pop in, but I don't know what it was. I don't see it. Before we take a break here, let's see. Stead Nark. That's a new name. Welcome, Stead Nark. Q&A, do you think that Married will ever make another appearance and anything will ever come, or maybe being John's sister? Married? I'm not sure who you mean there, Stead Nark. Stead Nark, that's funny. If anything will ever come out, maybe being John's sister. I don't know who you mean there, being John's sister. I don't think... I think you meant Mirror. I think you're saying Mirror Reed.
I bet you.
I think that's who you're referring to. Yeah, I don't buy the Mirror Reed John sister thing. And here's the thing, Stead Nark. That theory came out for the show, and it was all based. I mean, honestly, the first part of this was based off the actors' looks, and you can't go by the show and the actors' looks because they look nothing like the book characters. So yeah, I don't think so. I think she is exactly who she says she is, being Mira's or Hallin's daughter.
Morgan Freeman.
We got Morgan Freeman over here.
Mike Bushnell said I sound like DMX, and Doc Holliday says leaning towards Morgan Freeman.
Oh yeah, kind of getting it's getting there. It's getting
DMX.
DMX. I'll start barking here in a minute. Mamma Mia, have you heard the theory that the Night King is just saving the boys that Craster throws out, and the current king is one of those sons that's why Craster wasn't attacked? I have not heard a theory that they're saving them, because I think we saw him turn the baby. So yeah, I don't know about saving them. I've never heard that, or I'm not sure why that would even be a theory, actually, since we did see the baby that he took turned to a White Walker. So I think that pretty much.
You know what? I just totally believe that. Now I know we've talked about them having their own society and everything.
Yeah.
But I believe they just age really quick. You know, once they turn.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think
so
they
too.
got toddlers that they're nursing and stuff like that.
I don't either. I can't see that being a thing where there's a little White Walker demon.
I can't see it either. So I just think
demon baby.
We got to see the beginning, and pretty shortly thereafter, he was grown.
I think so too. I think that's the way it's got to go. Let's see. Kyle Dubs, Smokescreen, Q&A. Could the God's Eye be like a separate Werewood server with hidden history that can only be accessed there? The name God's Eye would fit because of having the ultimate visions. I think that's interesting, but I still think it has to be, for that theory to kind of work as far as the heart tree and all that thing, it's kind of got to be connected. It's got to make everything else work, the other trees and everything throughout the land. So I wouldn't imagine it being a separate thing. I think that's the whole idea with the kind of hive mind mentality thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, but there could be something, special that you can't access other things from other places, but I wouldn't imagine that would make any sense for any other werewood tree. I think it's all got to be connected.
Yeah. Sorry, Dennis Fleming. Damn.
What's that?
I said, sorry, Dennis Fleming.
Oh,
we're just touching on what's thrown at us, dude.
Yeah, I'm not sure. What are we supposed to? I mean, you got a question, Dennis? I'll be glad to answer the question.
No shit.
I mean, you can't just say your shit sucks and ask me a question.
All we're doing is answering fucking questions.
That's all we're doing. Yeah, thanks for the feedback, Dennis. Anyway, Leslie Powell, Q&A. Do you think R'hllor and the Great Other are one god in the same? They both require blood sacrifice. Essentially, yeah, I do think it's the same source, but I don't think they're gods. And there's no gods. That's my opinion. I don't think there are any gods. I think it's the construct that people build around magic.
Right.
So I do think it's essentially the same source as in magic, done different ways, blood magic, fire magic, whatever, ice magic, whatever you want to call it. But I don't think they are. It is the same source of what we're saying, but not an actual god.
Yeah.
Not a deity.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Gorlax says, I think the Night's King goes to destroy all the werewoods. Whatever happens to the God's Eye will be done on purpose. I thought that too, as far as all the werewoods. But I'm thinking like at the tree, at Blood Raven's Cave, he didn't specifically destroy that werewood. If anything, not Mirror, but Leaf almost did.
You're damn right.
But we don't know what actually happened to it, and it didn't ever show him doing that anywhere else. But then again, that kind of would have given it away. So perhaps that is part of his thing. But it goes back to our idea at the God's Eye. If you destroy that,
that's what I was going to say.
Will take out the rest of it.
Yeah,
I think
he's not going to go around wiping them all out when he can go there and get them all.
Right. I think that's the idea, at least in our idea with the God's Eye. All right. Let's grab one or two more, and then we'll take a quick stretcher here. And let's see. Jason came. When we're going to finally see Ariel warging.
It's coming soon.
We're going.
Trust me.
It is.
That's the bittersweet ending.
Exactly. Season 8. Mamma Mia has a question from Sarah Sean Greenfield. Thank you,
getting a
Sarah.
funny shirt.
Yeah, you need to. People remember that Ariel warging shit. That was funny.
That is funny as hell.
Do you think Cersei will make it to the last episode? Also, do you think she'll bring Storm's End back into play like Gray Area brought up? I have not seen Gray Area's video about Storm's End, so I'm not sure. But I've been questioning the whole Cersei thing.
Today, but it wasn't that one.
I've been questioning the Cersei thing. Like, are they going to do this together? I think they owe us almost a get Cersei out of the way. And really, because you got a big payoff for something that's been built up since the prologue of the book,
right? In
the first episode, the scene in the first episode. But I see them doing it concurrently, so I'm also not sure now how this is going to play out. With, is she going to outlast the Night King? I don't think so. I think the Night King is going to go to King's Landing too. I think that's going to happen. There's
definitely
going to be a battle there.
Definitely.
That is in the news. We mentioned it a few
100%.
times. There's going to be a big battle there, and I don't think it's going to be just people.
Right.
We got to see the Dany throne room thing play out. So I don't think
that's the whole reason I'm so stuck.
I don't think she'll make it. Depends on how they do it, but I don't think she'll be around after the Night King. Is what I'm saying. So whether that's in the last episode or if they stretch that out, I don't know. But I think they got to get rid of Cersei and really focus on the end game as far as the Night King. But Storm's End, I've said this before. What I think happens with Storm's End is I think Gendry survives, maybe he doesn't survive, but I think before he dies, if he does die, Dany makes him Lord of Storm's End again, raises him up from the bastard Gendry, and brings that house Baratheon back into the fold. And so I think that would fit. If Gendry survives, I know a lot of people want Arya and Gendry to marry or meet up again. That's a possibility, but I think either way that Gendry takes over Storm's End essentially.
And that excites me.
Yeah, because there'll be, it fits with the Dream of Spring.
Yeah.
Things kind of getting back to normal. There will be some changes, but there's still got to be lords and ladies for a while.
It's
not going to be an overnight, Republic thing. Rough girl, get Smokescreen on God. That's just, it's almost too late. It's almost too late, man.
The prequels, man, the prequels.
Yeah, we could do that too. But I'd just like to be an extra in the last episode or whatever, if they got time to fly me over there and film a couple things.
Jessica Elizabeth, I think a lot of people do, myself included, want Arya and Gendry to get together, but I don't think it'll happen either, unfortunately. I think she's going to, we've talked about it before. I think she's kind of going to wander around.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying like what's west of Westeros. That was kind of the end. But I don't know. I got to really put more thought into that too, because now that they've had a little argument,
fit, unless she totally changes.
I agree.
She is opening up a little more.
But then at the end, she did have the little, you make a better lady than I do. Where I'm so, they apologize. They kind of, mended their thing, or whatever. Did. So it makes you wonder, once this is all over. And of course, that depends on who's left too.
Damn right.
She may end up being the Lady of Winterfell, whether she wants to or not.
Right.
Because it could be a Sansa thing where she gets taken out.
Good question. I want to, even if it's a joke, DJ Wax the Groove. Does anybody want the Night King to win?
Yeah.
I've wondered that.
Yeah, that's you know what? I've thought about that before. Actually, can you actually have a story where the bad guy actually wins?
Yeah.
Because sometimes they do.
Yeah, you want to talk about blowing people's minds?
Yeah, where everybody just dies and he just fucking he sits on the Iron Throne himself. I mean,
it's freaking snowing. It's just,
yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't either, but
I mean, it honestly, I wouldn't be. I don't know if I'd be mad. I mean, I'd be mad in the story, in the context of the story, but not mad that he did it. You know what I mean? But no, I don't think that's going to happen because George R. R. Martin himself has already said bittersweet ending.
Yeah.
And that would be just a completely bitter. There wouldn't be no sweet involved. I can't think of anything sweet.
Unless he's sitting there patting John and Danny's baby on the butt, being really cool, being really nice.
Yeah, maybe he's human again and he's Uncle Stark or something. That could be maybe if they pull something out like that. But yeah, I don't know, Mike. Where's your pizza? Better call him back, man. Cameo Q&A, would there be a Clegane Bowl? I just did a video on that a couple days ago. Cameo, I think there kind of has to be now almost. I think it'll almost be an accident. It won't be a planned thing where he goes to back to King's Landing to kill his brother, but he'll take the opportunity when he's forced back to King's Landing. Yeah. So I just did a video on that as well, Cameo, and I think it's got to involve fire for sure.
Absolutely.
Definitely going to involve fire. We've talked about it quite a bit, and I mentioned that in that video. Mama Org, is that what that said? Mama Org, I believe. What do you think will happen in the prequels? We just mentioned that a little bit earlier. I think at least, there's the only news that's come out is it's just going to involve familiar bloodlines. So that narrows down a little bit, but not much.
Right.
You get rid of the Stone Age stuff and anything without houses being established, and they've already got rid of Robert's Rebellion and the Dunk and Egg novels.
Yeah, they took those off the table.
I think it's revolving around the Targaryen history, kings.
Why not?
Exactly.
I mean, really, that's the one, because we're learning a lot of Stark in this story more. You know what I'm saying? As far as
right. And I think there's going to be some reveals with the actual end game with Starks, as far as the Night King himself.
Right.
All right. I think we are at an hour mark already.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a stretcher really quick, and we'll come back and do another. Let me double check.
You guys keep chatting it up.
Streamlabs, really cool. Okay, really quick. Rough Girl on Streamlabs. Thank you, Rough Girl.
Thank you, Rough Girl.
Oh, here we go with for James. Flu cure is as follows: hot toddy with lemon, heavy on the toddy, lay under 3 or more pounds of blankets, 90s movies, Boys in the Hood, anything with Tupac, more brown liquor. There you go. There's the perfect recipe. I got all day. I got juice. I got all those.
I missed so much. I missed work last week. I can't miss tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we had a VHS VCR, I got all Tupac's movies on VHS still. It's just my little collection, so
that's cool.
Oh yeah, so I need to get those updated.
I actually have a couple VCRs in storage. I'm gonna get one.
Oh hell,
we'll watch those things.
Let's see. Okay, Her Monster Highness saying please check Facebook during the break. I will do that. Her Monster Highness, thank you. I'm sorry, Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, I can't see the questions over there. I mean, I can barely see them, but they scroll up. So I apologize. It's too hard to get questions from all these different places. But I'll definitely check that for sure. And one more here. Mamma Mia, Leslie Powell Q&A. Does Old Nan reference stories of the Night Fort where some dark sheet goes down, i.e. the Rat Cook, Simon, Star Eyes, etc.? Yeah, I think the Rat Cook was more of a tale for foreshadowing the Red Wedding.
Yep.
That's really what that was. So, I think the Night Fort comes more into play with stuff like Mance Rayder. Because somebody asked me earlier on Facebook about Mance Rayder. That's probably where he's going through because he knows the words to say to get the werewood door to open.
Bam.
So I think that's where that fits in. But the Rat Cook for sure was more of a Red Wedding. Well, a little bit different than the books.
Dark sheet goes down.
A little bit different than, because the Frey pile was a little bit different than the books, but you know what I mean. So, All right, I think we're good. So yeah, let's take a quick stretcher, and so you guys hang out. We got 325 people hanging
Man, I'm
out.
telling you what, man, it's
on
awesome.
a random Sunday again. So that's cool. Glad you guys are here. So yeah, hang out with us for a few, and we'll be right back.
Cannot give you back your homes or restore your dead to life, but perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our King. can give you justice. In the name of our King. Perhaps I can give you justice. I cannot give you back your homes or restore your dead to life, but perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our King.
Oh, okay. I didn't have the mic. Sorry. We're back. Still here. All right. Let's see. And Her Monster Highness, I think I got the question right before we went. So I think you had sent me a question on Facebook. And that was the Cersei question, I believe. Alrighty, let's see.
And I'm drinking some hot water now. See if I can bring my voice back.
And I'm going to lose mine. All right. Let's see. System of a Fox. That's another new name. Welcome, System of a Fox. Let's see here. Q&A. Do you think we'll see the Knights of the Vale go up against the Golden Company? That's interesting. I think... I'm not sure how this is going to happen because I do think that the Golden Company will, we said earlier, fight with, for the show, a Targaryen. And number one. Number two, because it's the right thing to do to fight with the living people.
Yep.
So they're going to break that contract. So I don't know if there's a little skirmish before that or whatever. I wouldn't think there would be a big battle before that. I think they would, parlay or something before there's a battle.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't think so, but I mean, you could have something go down, and then I just don't see how once you start a battle, how do you stop it and then, oh, wait a minute, we're trying to do, you know what I mean?
That's the point.
So how do you start that
right.
and not without just being chaos? Which, then again, that could
damn sure be chaos with the people you were fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That could complicate things. So for sure. So I wouldn't think so, but it could happen. Alex Montero. There's Alex Montero. I hadn't seen that name in a while. Sup, guys? I'm about to lose it. Where'd it go? Oh, there it goes. That damn arrow's in the way. What's up, guys? What do you think about this theory of the Night King being connected to the Starks, not just through blood, but also magic? And people think when he dies, then Sansa, Arya, Bran will follow. Yeah, I haven't heard that theory actually. Well, no. Maybe I have. I don't know. Maybe I have. I wouldn't think so. I think he is obviously a Stark. I mean, or a Proto Stark. That's where Proto Stark drink up comes from here. There's a whole T-shirt with it now. But yeah, so I think that's for sure his connection to Jon through blood, just like through the Targaryen side. But I don't think if he dies that would kill all Starks because the magic would have to keep. It would have to have founded the house and the bloodline. He would have to have offspring after that. So I don't think he did, obviously. His offspring, if he had any, obviously was already alive and not captured. Excellent point. So yeah, I think just because of the offspring thing, it wouldn't make sense for him. It would essentially kill all the other Starks. Let's see. Heir to the Iron Throne, Q&A. If you had to be in the role of any character on the show, who would it be? Man, that's a good question. If I had to be any role.
Be nice to be Jon right about now.
That's true. I mean, hey, look, let's be honest here. I mean, he's riding the dragon. I mean, yeah.
As far as the whole show goes, I don't know, man.
See, I would like to be like a Bronn or a Hound character because
I love Bronn.
That's my natural thing. I'm just kind of a smart ass anyway. I think that would be. I'm
probably more of a Robert Baratheon.
Yeah, sitting around drinking, whoring. No, I'm kidding. With 6 or 7 brothel wenches. Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's funny. Pod. Yeah, he gets free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. Yeah. But no, seriously, I don't know. That's a good question. I'd have to think on it, but I would think just off the top of my head, I don't know if I would, I don't know. Are you looking at it from a practical standpoint, like Kit Harington's got to film all the time?
Right.
I don't know, but you know what I mean? It's like, can I just be like a guy there, every couple episodes like Bronn? Or a Hound. I like the Hound. I'd love to be a hair character like the Hound.
Yeah, he's
I don't
a great
know.
character.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
It really is.
I wouldn't want to be Grey Worm. I wouldn't want to be Grey Worm.
Definitely
I wouldn't want to be Theon.
No.
So those two are out. So yeah, I'm thinking Bronn, the Hound, something like that. I don't know.
Hell, go ahead and shit on Varys while you're at it.
That's right. No Varys. I don't know. I could play. I would like to be. I think it'd be cool to be a magical kind of dude, though, like Makoro in the books, if he was in the show, Red Priest, where you got some skill with the Mad Jedi skills,
right.
That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. All right.
Fractured and pierced, Sandor's a virgin.
Yeah. Well, maybe he is. I don't know. Let's see here. Somebody had a question they grabbed from somebody else. I saw. There's Sierra DTV writing the. James, you ignorant slut, says Doc Holliday. Let's see.
I love his character. I do.
Who's that?
I love Robert. You know that.
Oh, he's cool.
I've been obsessed with that guy.
He is cool, for sure. Thank you, Sally, for subscribing. I saw a subscriber pop up there. I got a question. I saw a question somebody grabbed from somebody. Damn it, I lost it. I'm sorry. Somebody had grabbed one. A mod had grabbed one from somebody that I hadn't seen a name before. Trying to get some names I hadn't seen before, spread the love, because we get yelled at for not answering every question.
Yeah, we try hard.
We try to get every question. So I apologize. I lost it. Let's see. Well, okay. Kyle Dubs has one from Fred Targaryen's Uncle Daddy. Yes. Let's see. Let's think. I'm trying to picture starting that channel or that account. Let's see. What can Fred Uncle Daddy? How do you come up with that name? That's good though. So he's basically asking: the Starks defeated the War King and Blackwoods abandoned the North. Do you think the Blackwoods may be descendants of the War King who fled after defeat? Yeah, I've said this before in an old video. Actually, Fred Targaryen, and thank you, Kyle, for grabbing that. That I do think that the Warg King was there in the World of Ice and Fire book to show you how the Starks became wargs in the first place, because they were already interbred with the children. So I think that's exactly what happened when the Starks killed the Warg King and put all his sons to the sword and took their women.
Right.
The old Kings of Winter. That's where they got the bloodline, the children of the forest blood. So Blackwoods and Starks are absolutely, in my opinion, descendants of the War King. It was at least their wives or the female line. So that's I did a video on that actually it's probably been 2 years ago. Maybe more, a little bit. I don't know. But how the Starks got their warging ability. There's a separate video on the channel. It's got an old shitty thumbnail, but yeah, that's exactly what I said, basically what I just told you. So I do think there are, that's definitely, because otherwise that little side story in the World of Ice and Fire really wouldn't be there. For any other reason. Point. So I do think that's where they got the blood. The magical children DNA. Kyle Dubs. Now here's a question I hadn't gotten in a while. What's that? We saw Jake. Jake Farm. Mm-hmm. There's Paula Marie as well. What's up, Paula? Just saw her name flash by. And Kyle has a question here that I hadn't gotten in a while. Q&A. Why is your name Smokescreen, Chris? Yeah, it really is. That's
a great question.
It's a couple little things. All right, so when I started the channel, I wasn't sure what it was, because I started this channel almost 3 years ago to the day, actually. It was in January 2015, and I didn't do anything for 4 months at least. I didn't touch it. But I wasn't sure what it was going to be. And then when I decided to go with, kind of entertainment type stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And because that was one of the options at the time of creating the channel and typing the name, right? I was thinking, okay, one thing, I used to be nicknamed Smokey. All right, that was one thing. That didn't really play a big role, but it made me start thinking of cool words like smoke. I just like the word smoke. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. So I was just thinking something cool. It just sounded cool to me. And then I was thinking, okay, in movies and TV, I was going to talk politics originally, actually. There's a lot of smoke screens in movies and TV and politics and everything like that. That was kind of, so it's kind of a play on words of something I was called, also a nickname. And then for me, it just kind of sounded cool, and I really wasn't sure about it at all. But then I started drawing out logos. And then once I drew the logo, I liked it. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go with that. That was kind of really it. It wasn't really
That's right.
It wasn't really a big plan. It was just kind of a couple things that came together, and that's what it ended up being. Obviously thinking back, I should have named it something Thrones.
Right.
But I didn't know what this was going to be. You know, my first video was a Batman v Superman movie announcement, and I was talking about how Batman could never beat Superman without kryptonite. Period.
Ever.
And that was the first shitty video I did.
Which
God,
is
those
why.
are so horrible. I mean, not that the new ones are great, but they're horrible. They're worse. They're worse. So anyway, that's how the name came about. It's just kind of a combination of little things, and I started fucking around with logos, and I like the logo. I like the little negative space, 2 S's with line. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just kind of what happens. Let's see here. Nakia Emmanuel Q&A. Do you think Barrick will give his last life too if he gives it to? I'm about to lose it. If he gives it, and who do you think it will be and why? I think he will. The books, obviously, that's already happened. If you're not a book reader. So I think that's got to happen in the show. Really, his job is done, and I think it may be one of two people, either John or the Hound. I think that could happen because Thoros he's gone.
Yeah.
So if he's going to do the kiss of life in the show, it's got to be like I think the Hound or maybe even John, where he's pissed off because he comes back again and he don't want to. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, they may just skip it.
I would lean towards the Hound of those two you named. I could see that. It kind of would go with.
It goes with his story a little bit about kind of the discovery, not necessarily religion, but the bigger picture of things. You know what I mean?
And it's funnier.
Yes. Can you imagine he wakes up and goes, "What the fuck?"
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They give him that one more line.
Exactly. You think, "Oh no, the Hound's dead," and then he, crawls over to him or whatever. So
I see it.
I think it could happen. Everdawn says, "Ooh, I don't know what you're talking about, Everdawn. Missing a conversation or." Let's see here. I think I saw a super chat. Yes, Ricky Gerard again. Thank you, Ricky.
Thank you, Ricky.
On the Golden Company killing Viserion, figured they would have the funds and would manpower to build hundreds of the giant crossbows. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that could be a big thing that perhaps Cersei and Euron are telling them we need help killing a dragon or a couple dragons or 3 dragons.
Sure.
They don't really know about the third one yet. Cersei is suspicious one was missing or whatever, but she don't really know. So that could have been in the conversation. And matter of fact, the contract.
I'll bet you.
But I don't know if they would agree to that because she's a Targaryen. So that brings up that whole Targaryen thing again. Because obviously there's no Blackfires in the show. It's going to be a Targaryen. So it's almost like they would have to hide that.
Yeah.
But then they're going to see it anyway. So I don't know. It's so hard to say.
That is strange.
But they could completely ignore the Targaryen thing, right? And just say, yeah, that was in the contract. You got to come kill some dragons. So I don't know. So it's hard to say. It's Jake from State Farm. When Barrett kisses Gendry, all the women are going to lose their shorts. Oh shit. Mama Orgs again. Let's see. Q&A. How you guys going to watch season 8 all dressed up and fancy, or slum it in PJs and junk food? Well, Mama Org, we go on live right after, we can't be sitting around in PJs and stuff. This is my PJs. I just got on basketball shorts and sweatshirt. That's my PJs. So that's the way I'm doing it anyway, I guess. But anyway. Let's see. Yeah, we do a live show right after. We've been doing this since before season 7, and we'll go on at 10 the same time, as a matter of fact, because it was right after the show, obviously. Exactly. This year they're going to be longer.
Yeah.
Apparently, I mean, I'm sure they will. So, let's see. Kyle Dubs grabbed one from House Sanchez. How do you think the Glass Council will play a role in the future of the books? What is Morwen's agenda? What does Quaithe want? Good question. I don't. Morwen, I think, is on. Morwen's going to be Dany's maester. That's what his agenda is. His agenda is he loves magic, and he thinks there's a big conspiracy that the maesters hate magic and tried to kill the dragons. So he's going to help Dany. That's Morwen's agenda, I think. And Quaithe, I think she is. I think that's essentially kind of her role too. I don't know if she's not going to that's the glass candle thing. She's not going to follow Dany to Westeros, I don't think. So she's going to use those. So that's how the time jumps happen and stuff in the books versus the show. So they're not going to bring that in the show. Obviously, it's probably too late for that. But so yeah, I think it's just for. I think she'll continue to talk to Dany for a short period of time at least.
Yeah.
And kind of follow what she's been doing. So I think we'll see more of that. But I think it was also just a plot device in the books to show you that magic is working again. So I don't know how big of a role they'll play, so to speak, but I think it was just a kind of a device to show you, okay, this shit's working again.
I think so.
Where,
makes sense.
Maester Lewin says it never worked for me.
Yeah.
That type of thing. So I think, but I think that's Marwin's basic idea for Marwin anyway, is to basically go serve Dany. I think because he's on his way now actually from the last book. So we may end up getting those answers one day, probably after season 8. Let me double check over here.
Paula, we might, try to film some reaction stuff this season. This is our last season to do it. And, we've tried before.
We have.
The lighting and things weren't right. But
because you got to sit there with lights on to get the.
Yeah.
And then it's in your face and you can't see.
So it's tough.
It
but
is. We did get
we have
some
thought
that were
about
shitty. It was horrible. Ethan Hunt on Streamlabs. Thank you, Ethan.
Thank
hey,
you.
Chris and James. Yeah, it's been a while. Just wanted to stop and say hello.
Glad you did.
I miss being a regular. Keep it up. Brandon will area war. Just you wait. Also, Proto Stark. Thank you, Ethan. I appreciate you stopping by. I hadn't seen you in a while. So yeah, everybody drink up. Proto Stark. He said.
That's right.
So, alrighty. Let's see here. Trying to get live here on the questions. Jessica Elizabeth met Jason Momoa. When did that happen?
Wow.
I just sent him a message. You should have mentioned us, man, Jessica. I sent him a message randomly. He'll never see it, I'm sure, to come on the show. I wanted to interview him.
Yeah.
But he seemed like the guy that would see that and say, "Okay, cool, let's get on Skype."
I think he would.
Yeah, I mean, he just seems like that kind of guy. If he saw it,
I think he would.
So I threw it out there. We'll see. I doubt that'll happen, but who knows? Maybe he'll go back and catch that one message out of 1 million a day that he gets. Nakia, this is I saw this, so I want to bring this up because I said this before, and it's kind of a good possibility here. What if Howland Reed is connected to the roots of a werewood tree like Bloodraven? That's why he never came to meet with Robb and Jon. I actually said that before. Like, is he purposely not going, or is there a reason he can't go?
Is there a reason he can't?
And he could actually, and that's where I've said before, he could already be there at the God's Eye, and he's been back, and now he's sort of. I don't think I don't think he's a full-fledged green seer. You know what I mean? I don't know if that would even make sense for him to do that, unless you can become one in that way, in a sense. Or
That's
something.
where I'm starting to lean.
Like if you can,
because he's there learning. And,
yeah. What is he learning? It goes back to the same question. What does training mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, is he lifting rocks with Yoda? I mean, what is he?
You
know
just
what I'm saying?
don't know in this world.
That's true. So I think I have mentioned that before. Like maybe he's not because he can't. Like he physically can't get to Winterfell. So maybe that's certainly a possibility. Something like that's going on. Eric, James has been sick. That's
I have been battling the flu.
And now I feel something coming on today. Hopefully it's just a 24-hour nothing. Let's see. Yeah, Paula Marie, that's right. Everybody tweet Jason Momoa for Smokescreen.
That would be cool.
Yeah, he seems like a cool guy just to chat with. That'd be cool. The Last Dragon. What's up, The Last Dragon? Q&A. Why was Bloodraven north of the wall in the first place and not the God's Eye? Well, that's I've thought about that too. Like I think he was recruited. I think he was recruited by the last green seer before him, and this was before. Like, I don't think Bloodraven had the answer, right? Because he would already told Bran or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think he was working on what to do because he could only really spy on him. So I think he was recruited just like Bran was, and that's where he kind of got stuck, literally.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he was north of the wall as opposed to he went straight to Gaza, because I don't think they know. So I think that's something that Bran's got to put together himself or whatever. Otherwise, I mean, plus that would pretty much be the end of the story if that was the case. You just skip everything and he just goes straight there and you never have a story.
Right.
So you got to have something preventing him from knowing.
Yeah.
Right. What to do. So I mean that's my opinion. Like there's been a line of green seers. While probably a couple thousand years ago there was probably a lot of green seers. When they did the hammers of the water and all that shit.
Exactly.
No problem, Last Dragon. I think he did absolutely know he was going to die there. Yep, I do. Yep. And he's well beyond his mortal years, so the trees are keeping him alive anyway. Yeah. Let's see here. I'm trying to wait for the chat to catch up so I can see something here. I see. Where I just saw something. Okay. Oh, that was to Gorlak. Pedro sent something to Gorlak. I thought it was a question. Let's see. Cat Walker. Hello, Cat Walker. Q&A. Do you think the reason Howland Reed has not been around is because he's a member of the Order of the Green Men and can't leave the Isle of Faces? Do you think to be a Green Seer in the Order, do you have to be a Green Seer in the Order? I think that's kind of what we've been saying is like, what is he a member? What do you learn there?
Right.
What do you get taught? What's the training mean? So can you become a member if you're a human? Is it children, as a matter of fact, or is it both?
Right.
So yeah, I think that's kind of part of the same question. Like, is he a member? I mean, obviously, there's something special about the place for him to want to go back.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm leaning towards that. I think he has trained and has learned a lot of things, and
yep.
He took vows, kind of like the Night's Watch, and maybe can't leave.
Could be. Are there vows for that type? For the order. Big Cincy, what's up?
What's
Big Cincy?
going on?
I hadn't seen you in a while. All right. Let's see. Chris Roberts says, "What's up, Chris Roberts? That's a new name too.
Wow.
Welcome, Chris.
Welcome.
Which faces do you see Arya using in season 8? I gotta say Littlefinger. I mean, it's there, and maybe that ties into the Robin thing, man. There you go.
That's a good point.
That could tie into a Sweet Robin thing, because Sweet Robin will be really pissed off, found out that Littlefinger died.
Yeah.
Probably his real dad.
Right.
Although he may not know that, obviously. But, he's always thought of him as a father-like figure.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's how you get him to stay on your side with the Knights of the Vale.
Absolutely.
You have Arya go down there and just
absolutely
tell him we're staying up here and we got a war to fight, and it's going to save the
Tell
world.
him whatever you want. He's going to listen.
That's it. And so, yeah, I mean, I definitely would say Littlefingers. I think the Frey thing's played out. I don't think there's no. I think now it's known he's dead.
Right.
I don't think there's any reason.
Just puts that on as a goof sometimes.
Yeah, he should maybe just walk around, freak people out in the middle of the fucking night. Oh fuck! It's Arya
You gotta
again.
quit doing that shit, Arya.
That shit.
Damn it!
Oh shit. Let's see. Princess Scarlet 2. Q&A, what will John and or Dany name their child in the end? Also, Proto-Stark. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Girl, boy, twins, what we got going on? I've said girl if it's going to be one, and possibly they do the twins thing. I don't know. Did we? Maybe we might have answered this before. I'm not sure.
I think we've been asked it before.
Yeah, maybe we put out some
tough.
guesses. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so many good. I mean, you got to think it's got to be Targaryen, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it could be Ned. It could be a boy Ned, another Ned. In the books, there is a Ned Dane. There's an Edric Dane who's called Ned, but I mean, he's like 14, I think, in the books. But I don't. I could see him having a regular name too. I could see it going both ways because he's not going to buy into the whole. He's not going to be called Aegon. I mean, somebody may eventually address him, but he's going to go by John. So you would think, like, he names his son like Ned after his real father who raised him.
Right.
So Ned, if it's a boy, something like that, or because he was raised by the man and appreciates him, and he'll go through that little shock period, I guess. But at some point he'll be like, I understand why he did it.
It's
so
crazy.
I think that'd be
can't wait
cool.
to see
That'd be
that.
cool. I don't know, but maybe Lyanna. You know, Lyanna's a name for a girl.
Now
I think I said before.
I could totally see that.
Yeah, we need
Totally.
we need a Lyanna Targaryen. There you go.
That works.
I think so. I think so. Let's see. Jessica Elizabeth saying I think she would definitely use the Littlefinger face. Plus, they like the actor. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
If we got some filming news where we see the actor on set,
You're damn right.
then there you go. But we haven't got any filming news of anything, any kind really at all, besides the Winterfell set. The King's Landing set being built up because
they're gonna tear it down.
Because they're gonna tear it down. They're gonna burn it up. So
and she could also use that face at King's Landing, right?
I mean anything, whatever she had in the bag, which was, you know.
I mean, unless they sent ravens or whatever, you know, say, hey, you know, all the people that witnessed her cut his throat in the room.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they wouldn't. Obviously, they're on the same side. So
yeah,
if she needs to go trick Cersei,
then
Littlefinger,
wear that
she could wear
face,
Littlefinger's
and
face.
that would be perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. So I definitely think that could happen for sure. So yeah, I mean, I've been waiting to hear about seeing him fly over to Belfast or whatever, or you know, for filming.
Now that he's gone, who's the slimiest bastard on there?
Oh man, the slimiest bastard you're on. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah,
You pulled that quick. You're right. Yep.
Yeah, I mean he's slimier than Littlefinger as far as being just a straight psychopath, for sure. Let's see. Rick Moore 209. How loyal will the Golden Company be to when they found out Euron cut out the tongues of his crew? Yeah, I don't think they would be down with that either. And that kind of goes back to the Targaryen thing. You know, if they use that versus having a Blackfire in the show. So I again, everything points to, like you're saying, that the Targaryen thing, the actual war for the living. It all points to them betraying. Well, not betraying, but breaking their pact or their contract, I should say, with Cersei when they find out what's really going on. Let's see. Big Cincy, Q&A. Chris, do you think Jon will hide his parentage from Dany to begin with, and what do you think will be his reason? I think that's a big possibility. If he finds out, like, they go in a private room, and Bran and him and Sam sit down and have that talk, he's got to almost for a little while, even if it's just a day or two or something, because he's riding the dragon, number one.
Exactly.
And he knows that it'll be a problem. Like he's got to assure her, look, I don't want your damn throne. You're still the queen. What do we do from here? So I think he almost has to.
But here's the thing. He has a hard time lying.
Yes.
And she has a big deal with trust.
Very true.
If he holds it from her, even for a little while, it will bother her tremendously.
Yes. I could see him instead of just like avoiding Dany all of a sudden, being distant.
That's
and she's like,
the best way to handle it.
Why are you being so distant for the past couple of days?
Yeah.
And then they finally have the big, talk or whatever.
Damn it. It's going to suck, too.
Paul Marie says, I have begun the Jason campaign now on Twitter. Come on here, let's chat with Jason and bring him on. What fun. He's only on Instagram, Paul Marie, though.
That's cool, Paula.
He's only on Instagram, by the way, because I saw him post something where somebody was pretending to be him on Twitter, and he's not. He's only on Instagram, obviously, with the blue check mark, so he don't use any other social media. So just be careful. I don't know if you're trying to tag a Jason Momoa on Twitter. It don't exist, the real one. Let's see.
Nakia. I'm sorry. I know you want to get some other people, but Nakia, that's a good one. Nakia Emanuel says Q&A. What if Jon was born with full Targaryen features? What do you think Ned would have done to hide it? Do you think he still would have kept Jon as his bastard son? That's a good question. It's a game changer.
Yeah, and I think that's what sparked a lot of the Shora Dane stuff because of a potential baby swap, and all that kind of stuff as well. When he goes to Dorne to take the Dawn back to House Dane and Starfall,
right?
But yeah, I don't know. That would be completely a game changer. He would have to. I think he still would, because if he has those features, then you can just say he could use a Shara Dane, for example. Danes have Valyrian features, or I should say, really, I mean, the way they put it, I should say that Valyrians have Danish features. But either way, it's still another girl with those features, right? It's still another woman. So I think he's got to do the same thing, and it's just got to explain it differently.
Yeah.
It's a Danish woman or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that.
And of course, Ashara was the prime suspect. It was brought it up anyway, and with Catelyn, because it was whispered around Winterfell.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think he would have to. I think he would have to do the same thing. Let's see. Jill Perry Q&A. Virgin. What did Q&A? Oh, Q&A virgin. I guess you're saying. Jill Perry, welcome.
Oh.
with the cherries pop.
I'm
sorry, I'm kidding. Jill Perry, Q&A virgin. Q&A virgin. What did Mira know when she said, "I have to be with my people when they come"? I thought that was a little odd too. I think she meant it straight up. I have to be with my family.
That was so cryptic.
But it was odd the way she said "my people." But I guess she meant the Cranning men in general, because they're a whole different breed of people in the books, especially. I mean, they don't really participate in the customs of Westeros a lot. Basically, I mean, they do have a house name and all that stuff, but they don't have knights.
Right.
You know, they're ninjas versus knights and shit. They're small, and they all the stuff that's described in the book. So yeah, they're really a different breed. So I think she meant the Cranning men in general, like all those in the neck and the bog areas. You know, they live like the house, like House Reed. House Reed's just one house that you would consider Cranning men. You know what I mean? So there's like 6 or 7, I believe, houses or so that are in the neck in that area. So I'm guessing that's what she meant. All right, we're like an hour and 45 minutes. So I don't know what you got. You got work. So I guess.
I do. Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to take 5 and come back do another 10 minutes or something.
Yeah, sounds good.
You want to do that?
10, 15 minutes.
Y'all are down for another 10 or 15 minutes? Let me double check everything really quick here.
It was the way she said it to me seemed weird though.
Yes, I agree. I did. My spidey sense went off during that scene.
My heart was broken. It was just, I don't know. That was just a weird.
Oh yeah. I know. I feel like we got to see. I hope we see her again, and they don't just end it like that, where she don't come back into play at all. All right, let's see. Okay, so they're down. All right, so we'll do that. We're good. I think we're caught up on everything. Awesome. I believe. And let's see. Really quick, Ricky Gerard on Patreon. First time poster, just joined, been watching since start. Thank you, appreciate that.
Really?
Patreon, appreciate that, Ricky. Rough Girl, thank you. James, you sound like Tone Loc. Wow, thing. There we go.
Let's do it.
That was good. I can't beat that. Do it in the mic, really close.
Let's do it.
There we go. Wow, thing. Michael Smith on Patreon. Thank you, Michael. Q&A, do you think the Night King could want Jon to remove the dragonglass out of his heart to reclaim his humanity? Yeah, I mean, we've mentioned that before as a possibility. I don't think it's the only thing. I think it's part of it, though. That's the way it's got to be done, whether he wants it or not. But we did talk about that in Dragon Raised by Wolves. That was one of our things. It's like he's got to have
parts 1 through 5.
That's right. We got to change that now. That's one of the things we talked about. One of the major points about him having a different goal in mind, other than just straight destruction.
Absolutely.
Got to be something else.
Got to be.
All right. So yeah, let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
give you back your homes or restore your dead to life, but perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our king. give you back your homes or restore your dead to life, but perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our King.
Yeah.
All right. We are back, I think. All right.
We are back.
We are back. And sorry, not back on Facebook. My phone's about dead, so it's on the charger. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, Paul Marie, that was I saw your thing on Twitter. That's a fake Jason Momoa account. Just a heads up, I did because I saw something actually yesterday where somebody was impersonating him or trying to.
Good intentions though. Appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Let's see what we got going on. Where am I at? Trying to get current here. There we go. Kiwi Superfan Q&A. Have you noticed that the symbol on the Heartsbane sword of House Tarly is eerily similar to the Night King symbol on the sword? It shows as a piercing something that looks to be a heart. I looked at it a while back, but I don't remember thinking that it looked like the Night King symbol. I'll re-look at that for sure. Hello, Aaron Gaines.
Yeah, because there's some pieces out there.
Yeah, and because I've looked before at that symbol, thinking what is it, and tried to see if I could find anything similar. And I don't remember specifically finding anything, but I'll definitely relook at that, revisit that. Maybe I can see it through new eyes since you brought it up, for sure. Because that could be a huge clue, since we think it's going to come back into play. Let's see here. Rhaegar Ruby, yes, Q&A. With no male heirs, is this the end of House Stark? We've talked about this a little bit before. Essentially, it is. I mean, it can't continue through the female bloodline, but if you have the traditional marriage thing with taking the male name, then yeah. I mean, because I don't see Bran having kids. I mean,
even
Jon,
if he's able, I don't see Bran doing
yeah,
it.
exactly. I don't either. And so it's really, I think that's part of this whole bittersweet thing is you have House Targaryen and House Stark right there at the end of their line, and it's going to live on through Jon and Dany, but it's a Targaryen, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a Targaryen child.
That's true.
But it's got with Stark blood, so it's. I don't know. Maybe they do decide to end the names
it's
and combine
Stark.
them, like people said, Stargaryen, Starkarian or something. I don't know, but yeah, I mean that's part of. I think that's going to go into like this bitter part is there may not be a House Stark anymore after this generation bites the dust. I don't know.
Age of Sandow, yo, finally caught a stream. Welcome. Glad you made it.
Age of Sandow. Let's see here. Jon is still a Stark. He can keep that name. Yeah, I mean, he can do. Yeah, I mean, he could. And now that he's given up his as king in the North, he could have legitimized himself and called himself Jon Stark anyway. But now that he's kind of now Warden of the North again for under Dany, essentially Lord of Winterfell, it would be up to her technically, but she could do anything like that they wanted to as far as a name, but it's still really, I mean, they can name anybody they want Stark. You know what I mean? But it's about the blood really. So yeah, I think that's kind of part of it. It's a big question mark.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, Sansa can marry somebody, have a kid. The kid gonna have her name? I mean, who knows? I don't know. Let's see here. Watch out, Cameo. Nightbot's vicious. I don't know what you got timed out. Might be symbols. On Patreon, Randy says, Randy Suimatsu, thank you, Randy. It's been a while since we've seen Robin. Maybe they'll turn him into a stud and Sansa will fall for him. Also, I think the letter Ned sent was to Howland with details and instructions about Jon. Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. Like I said, with him, they could show him a couple years later and all of a sudden he is a badass.
I hope she don't forget she's got Littlefinger's face on.
Oh, God.
That would freak Robin out.
That's right. Oh, shit. That's true. Yeah. Now, I mean, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Maybe more of a book thing, but I almost think that I could see Littlefinger doing Arya with his face, keeping him in the fold for whatever reason, but I think they can almost just push him off to the side in the show.
Right.
Because they're already there. He thinks Littlefinger's still there, alive, and whatever. So it's not like you're going to send a rider to bring him back or something. And they wouldn't listen anyway with what's coming.
Ricky's got a good question for you.
Ricky, yeah, thank you, Ricky. I just sent you a message. Thank you for the newest Patreon.
Yeah, that's awesome, brother.
Ricky Gerard. Q&A, can you put out some refresher videos on Westworld, seeing how Season 2 is supposed to start in April? Yeah, I'll probably do that. Yeah, because obviously Game of Thrones, 2019 now, and that will probably be April of 2019. I was thinking about today because in order for them to get in certain award shows, that's the cutoff. So it'll probably go back to April. I'm thinking. That's just a guess on my part, but yeah, I'll probably do that. I'll probably do like a kind of a Westworld Season 2 preview thing and like a refresher for Season 1, what happened and what you can that I'm sure I will. Absolutely.
That's cool.
Because it definitely, for anybody starting on Season 2, they'll have to go back and watch Season 1 and understand what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
For damn sure. So I'm sure I will. Alrighty, let me double check this really quick. Alright, where's my chat at? Kyle Dubs grabbed a question
from Kyle Dubs. Dude, that's awesome.
So let's grab this one. This is some important dude, apparently. Q&A, Kyle Dubs. Thank you, Kyle Dubs, for grabbing that for Kyle.
That's awesome.
How does Bran see visions without the werewoods now? What implications does that have? And don't give me the he's transcended junk. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, when they left the cave, he was on...
Acid.
He'd already started... yeah, exactly. LSD. He angel dust. He had started the thing in the tree, right? He never came out of it. But then he was on the sled, and we've speculated that was a werewood sled.
We have, yeah.
Because there's got to be something to werewood still working, not being a rooted tree.
Yeah.
Because you have the House of Black and White, we have the Throne in the Eyrie, all that stuff we talked about before. And there's weird things happening there with Arya in the books, having wolf dreams across the whole narrow sea. That has to amplify it or something, or connect back to Essos or something. So I think it's that. But we talked about a little bit last season when Sam walks in and he says, "I'm the three-eyed raven," and Sam's like, "I don't know what that means." Then he's like, "Well, is there something you can
he's
see?"
Looking at
and he's
the
kind of
flames.
looking at the fire. And so that's what originally gave me the idea when I did the separate video on, is Bran, or are people like the Red Witches, or people like the Hound now that see something in the flames, are they picking up on, like, is that like normal people that learn to pick up on like green seer abilities? Like there's some kind of radio signal put out that they can tap into through fire.
I know.
That was the original idea behind that, because Sam was looking at the flames. Like, he assumed he was seeing something in the fire, and he was sitting there staring at it.
And he was staring at it.
But we didn't see, I guess, when we saw the big reveal and the marriage with Theon and Rhaegar.
Yeah.
He was still sitting there. He didn't show him go out to the werewood tree. Now later on, he was back outside again at the tree. So but he was still there. I guess I don't know. Maybe it's the chair.
That's what I'm wondering. If
maybe that chair is made out of it.
Wheelchair is made out of it. Yeah.
I don't know. But it seemed to be like, I don't think they're going to end up being in the middle of that conversation when Sam says, "No, he's they had the secret marriage and all this kind of stuff," and he verifies that by seeing it. I don't think they're going to run outside really quick. But maybe they did.
Who knows?
Maybe he says, "Wait a minute, I can check that. Push me outside now," and they just didn't show that part.
Yeah.
So when we hear him speaking, he's actually out at the werewood. So I don't know. So yeah, I don't. I think it would work though. I don't know, werewood in general, even if it's like a carved fucking bookshelf. I don't know. Because, you have the thing with Arya, and then you have the thing in the Eyrie where Robin hears voices and shit, but he's got a werewood throne in there. It's something odd.
Yeah.
It's something going on.
It is odd.
So, anyway. But, yeah, he's transcended, Kyle. That's all. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That's what I mean. A werewood bracelet, that's what he's saying. That maybe he is. Let's see. Mackenzie Smith, Q&A, do you think the show will utilize Moat Caitlin and the neck as one of the big battles with the Night King? Will be where Howland Reed shows up? If not there, where do you hope the big battles will be? I think that's possible in the books. I don't think they're going to show Moat Caitlin in the show. Besides we saw that one little shot of it back in season 5 when Sansa was being taken back to Winterfell with Littlefinger.
Right.
So I don't think, other than that little distant shot, it was really CGI. They're going to show that up close. Obviously, it's a perfect defensible location as far as the map goes. It would make sense. So I mean, it's certainly possible. And then again, we don't have a lot of filming news, but the books for sure. I would think that you try. I think it's going to start up north, and people will have to retreat. And they try to hold up at these places. So Winterfell is going to be one. Yeah. They go backwards, and maybe they go to the neck and do something at Moat Caitlin.
It makes sense.
It does make sense, but I think
the big is going to be King's Landing, where we've seen the set being built.
Yeah, so
there may be stages down the way.
I think that makes sense. I mean, in a real battle situation, they keep dropping back, and maybe it's because they see that, oh shit, then he tries in the first battle at Winterfell to kill the Night King with Dragonglass or Valyrian Steel and it doesn't work.
Good call.
Oh shit! Now they go backwards. They have to keep retreating until Bran sees what he needs to see. So yeah, as far as the show goes, I don't know if they'll do another location or introduce that. But again, we never know because we just don't have filming news. And they are doing how they have a lot of extra time, so they could build a whole new set. There's no telling.
You're right.
But it makes sense. It's a perfect as far as a battle location. It's a perfect defensible location.
Have you ever told them about Chad and the Hunger Games?
No, I don't know. I think I have mentioned before.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
His cousin helped build sets for the Hunger Games.
Yes, if you remember the Cornucopia. I'm saying that wrong. Cornucopia. Thank you. The Cornucopia in the middle of the Hunger Games. My cousin Chad, who's been on this channel, you guys have seen him. He helped. He built that.
Sure did.
He damn sure did. He was on a crew that was here locally, or semi-locally, where they built some of that stuff, had the sets and everything, and he helped work on that. And I watched the movie because they turn in things for credits, but he was never on the credits. They didn't put any of that group of builders in the credits. That was piss poor. Let's see. Jake from State Farm, still waiting for an explanation of what you did to Nightbot's mom, Amanda Kane. Oh, okay. I'll let you and Jake, you and Amanda talk that one out.
I actually saw what Amanda said.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. I'll stay out of that one. Fractured and Pierce is my chap's uncle has done effects work on the about half the films that have made money in the last 20 years, and John Carter. Very cool. Very cool.
It is cool, man.
Yeah, I wanted to go into that years ago, of course. I wanted to go to film school for a lot of different stuff, and it just cost way too much. Paul Marie, no filming news, really. No news whatsoever, actually. It's just the same old stuff.
A Cat Lover, 1981. Says Q&A, what if the ending is Jon and Dany's baby being Lightbringer, and that's what the Night King is after this whole time?
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. I still think that Jon is the Lightbringer, the metaphorical Lightbringer. But I've seen some theories where they think that, he foresaw them getting together and having a child, and that's why he's But it almost takes away from Jon. You know what I mean? It's like why go another generation?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? He's already the Ice and Fire child. It doesn't matter that Dany's now the mother of his child.
Doesn't make it any more spectacular.
It makes it less spectacular for him.
Yep.
So that's the only reason I don't think that fits for them to be after that baby. Let's see here. Courtney's back. Courtney Osborne fell asleep. Sorry, Courtney. I'm glad you're still here. We'll take a few more questions here and get out of here. James has got to go to work, and I got to go to sleep.
Excuse me, guys.
Let's see.
Good question, Mackenzie Smith. Chris, will Smokescreen... Will Wildfire make a reappearance in season 8?
I think it does.
I think so too.
I think it does. I think Cersei will ultimately try that. I don't know if it succeeds. It could be actually a dragon setting it off, or even the Night King. I mean, it wouldn't if it's still stashed.
Right.
I mean, it wouldn't take much to set that shit off at all.
No, we saw a candle do.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I think Cersei will ultimately attempt that. So, it will be brought up or something, whether it actually goes off. I think they need to use it in the battles, and maybe that's what they'll do with Trevor. They'll shoot wildfire things at the Night King army coming. That would make sense to me. But yeah, I think we'll see it some way, at least be brought up, and I think that's Cersei's trick that Jaime kills her for. The same rhyme.
Right.
It rhymes with why he killed the Mad King in the first place.
Yeah. I got it on Travis.
What's that?
Ta-da.
No.
Just got it covered up a little bit.
All right, let's grab a couple more here and we'll get out of here. It's almost 1 o'clock. I'm just checking Streamlabs, make sure we're caught up everywhere.
Saw some more new names tonight.
Yes.
Guys, tell your friends about this. It's a good hangout. Something to do on a Sunday night, especially if they're Game of Thrones fans too.
And especially if your your football team is not in the playoffs.
And when you say tell your friends now, that don't mean your neighbors or somebody you went to school with anymore.
That's right.
I have friends now in Scotland. And
That's
just
true.
So cool, man.
It's true. That means share on Facebook or share on Twitter
the
or
world
retweet or whatever.
Gotten smaller
These days, absolutely. Yeah, and speaking of, like, we were talking about sharing the old, the Night King video, or the end game Part 5, Dragon Age Part 5 video. That was how you entered this contest, and we'll probably do another one and probably have that shared again.
Exactly.
I wanted to get out there and I want more honest feedback on it too. But
man,
something's going on right now with the Varys Braun video. I just saw a little uptick, a little action going on. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's been shared or posted somewhere or whatever, but it's starting to tick up a little bit, which was odd. I thought that was just because everything else has been so down. There's nobody. They're not even getting 10,000 views anymore. But now this one's got a little uptick, so I don't know what's going on with that one. The whole Bronn idea of being hired by Varys. Let's see. Let's grab a couple more and we'll get out of here. Jesus. Some of this shit. I'm not reading some of this stuff in the chat room here. We got some freaks up in this camp. Devin Cross, I love you guys. Can only catch you twice a month though. Work sucks. Yeah, that sucks. Only twice a month, or maybe it's travel or somewhere with no access. Well, I'm glad you could catch us at least, Devin.
Somebody says, well, Mackenzie Smith says, I live in Cambodia, so friends in Southeast Asia.
Oh,
that's
very
what
cool.
I'm saying. It's just crazy.
It is. It's such a small world now with technology. It's so cool. We did that one day, like a shout out, where we had people from all over the world. It's insane. We had during the season we had 8,000 people watching
countries
the stream.
And places. Mama Ogre says, I know I'm just a voice in the crowd, but I think you guys are awesome.
Thank you, Mama
Thank
Ogre.
you. That's really cool.
No, each and every person in here, look, I'm telling you, it's like these Q&As. People, I see if occasionally somebody, they didn't answer my question. I'm answering Patreon questions because, these guys support the channel in the off season, all year, but especially during the off season. But we try to get as many questions as we can. And these awesome, there's the Dork Knight. What's up? These awesome moderators. Speaking of moderators, Dork Knight. They grab these questions. They don't have to do this stuff. They're trying to help us get questions because they fly. It looks different from what you guys see. It looks different from what we see.
Yeah.
Especially when there's a big crowd during the season. Obviously,
holy hell,
that's insane. So we're trying to grab everybody as we can, and then we try to grab new names that we hadn't seen sometimes if we can. So everybody matters here. That's what I love about this community. It's just close knit community, and everybody has a lot of fun.
And we actually, it's funny, we talk about you guys by your screen names. Sometimes it's like we know you. I mean, so was it Mama Ogre?
Yep.
Mama Ogre. I mean, you might just be a small voice in the crowd or whatever you think right now, but I mean, as you see, I mean, we know these other people a lot, and we've seen them a lot, and you're just part of the family now. So welcome.
Oh, absolutely.
All you new guys.
Kyle Dubs is screaming at you, James. Read my crazy idea.
Cersei has her baby. Arya takes its face to get close. Dude, that's horrible.
I know.
That's horrible. Damn it.
Oh, damn. Oh, Lord.
Oh, God.
Amanda Kane will never tell. We'll never tell what we talk about y'all.
You never know. It's funny. We do, just in conversation about comments and things.
Rocky Boy 24 here. Vikings shocking the Saints was the equivalent to how I felt when I first saw Ned get his beheaded.
Yeah, no shit.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I mean, hey, I don't have a dog in the fight.
That was shocking.
I don't have a dog in the fight, but look, I mean, here's the thing. I will say that I don't mind when Sean Payton cries. I'm just saying.
Hell.
I don't mind. I don't. I have faith. I know. And he's got family in this area. For one thing.
Wow.
I know that because he's been up here. But still, I just he gets on my. I respect him. I totally respect him.
Heck yeah.
It's not like Belichick up in. I can't stand him. I won't even go there. I won't even start that rant. We were trying to get out of here. There's Deborah Breedlove.
I know we're trying to learn how to make voodoo dolls.
They do what?
We're trying to learn how to make New England Patriots voodoo dolls.
Oh God, yeah. The Dork Knight always telling my friends about the channel. Sorry, I'm not here to mod. School will be over in 13 weeks. I hope everything's going good. No, that's okay, man.
Oh, that's
you
fine.
do what you got to do. Take care. Yes, I appreciate
This
it.
is a
regardless.
great favor, and appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, let's grab one more good one. Give me a good question. Let's get a good question, and we'll get out of here.
Sorry, Jessica.
I think we're good on Patreon really quick. And on Streamlabs. All right. Let's see what we got. Dork Knight. I'm not going to answer that question because I don't know if you've been out of touch with YouTube and all that good stuff since you've been out a while. We just talked about it in part 5.
We did.
We talked about exactly what's going to happen on the God's Eye. So please check that out. And share it. Share it with your buddies or whatever. Yep. We talk about the details now. So I think we're down to a good ending.
Oh my God, Kyle Dubs! Don't say that.
No. Okay,
man. I don't even. I got an image in my head now.
Yeah, no, I did too.
Breaks my heart.
Glad you're thinking positive, Kyle, about Tyrion.
No joke.
Get brain damage, Jesus. Oh Lord. Let's see. All right. What we got? Nakia, I could see that. Arya married Gendry, has a son with him, and then eventually leaves because she doesn't want to be tied down to anyone or anymore. But she comes back to visit Gendry and her son from time to time. That would be kind of shitty of her, though.
It would be shitty of her, but
I think she would, if she got to that point where she had a child with somebody, she would follow up with like what Ned and Catelyn did. They were good parents. I don't think she would take off and leave her kid. Maybe when he turned 18.
The jury's still out for me.
I don't know.
I think she's a little off in the head now.
Well, she's definitely screwed up. I mean, she's definitely not the same person.
Jake from State Farm says, "Can we do a Smokescreen recap of the fake news awards?"
Fake news award. That's about everything these days, ain't it?
It is.
I mean, Sergio, who do I want on the Iron Throne? I don't think there will be anybody on the Iron Throne. So I don't really want anybody. I mean, the fanboy would have John or Danny or whatever, but I don't think there will be. I mean, there'll be some kind of ruler or whatever. I think Danny has the throne melted down, and I think there will be a change in structure of society. So I don't think there will be a throne.
That's wrong, Cameo. I read that like you intended it to be read.
Let's see here. Hello, ZH Stannis Q&A. Hello from Taiwan. Do you see Sweet Robin would just be a bad person who would do good things? Yeah, I mean, I don't see in the long run him being a horrible person. I don't know. I just don't like the character. I never have. Hopefully, he'll mature. Let's see. All right, we'll end on this one here. Mackenzie Smith, and it's not related to God, but the channel. Mackenzie Smith, Q&A, what other shows have you thought about reviewing once God is over? I love listening to you guys. So this is something I think about a lot. I think about this all the time because obviously there's going to be a prequel.
Yep.
I'm going to be all over the prequel because there will never be. I mean, beside a prequel will be if it's got the same budget, producers, not saying Dan and Dave, but HBO behind
it needs that.
It will definitely be a high caliber show, and it's related to obviously the same story and world.
Yep.
So it's going to be, I'm sure, to be great.
Sure.
But there will never be another show that will get me super excited and pumped like Game of Thrones. I just don't think there will be. I don't think there can be.
And listen, you're not a 20-year-old saying that.
That's right.
I mean, we've seen some fucking TV shows in our lives. This is mind blowing. This is epic, people.
It is, and so I don't know. I mean, I've been thinking about that a lot about what.
No offense to 20-year-olds. I'm just saying we've seen a lot over the years.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's been throughout the years so many great
ones we
shows,
thought were awesome.
And you thought they were just until you saw the next one or the next one, and Game of Thrones is I think the top.
It's gonna be so hard.
But yeah, it's
But we were talking about that today.
We have been because it's tough. I don't want to. In order for me to do a show for the channel, it's got to hold my. I've got to be excited about it, which is kind of like, I can't just do one because it gets popular if I don't like it.
Yeah,
I can't because I want it comes through. I don't want to come in and just do a video to do a video. So I'm really, really trying to figure out the direction in general of this channel because eventually this will end. Obviously, there's always going to be book stuff, but that's not you got to think also. You got to honestly think about the financial side of things. It's not a big audience to talk about book stuff. It's just not.
I agree.
But at the same time, you do have the prequels coming. So I don't know, but I don't know exactly what to do as far as just stay in entertainment media, TV. Go into other things. I mean, I got other projects on the side as well I'm working on. So I don't know. There's a lot I'm trying to think about. But, I can't stay in this Game of Thrones box, obviously. The channel was never going to be a huge, giant, not worrying about money every week channel unless I do something. And so that's what I've been thinking about the last, forever actually, but for a while. And we were talking about it again today.
Yeah, we were.
So I can't give you a straight answer. I don't know. Something's got to pop. This good. Because there's great shows.
There are.
But there's not great shows that have history and backstories and lore and theory crafting and all that stuff. There's just not. Star Wars is that a little bit, but it's so saturated.
It is.
If I do a Star Wars video, besides there was one exception, it gets 8,000 views.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Compared to a 100,000 view GOT video during the season or whatever. So I don't know. I got a lot of thinking to do. I don't know. I'm still working on it, but anyway, we'll get out of here. Let you guys go. It's 1 o'clock, a little past 1. One more time, congrats to Tracy Lynn Thiel, the winner of the DVD giveaway. So Tracy, hopefully you watch this back, and congrats. And again, hit me up on the back end of the channel. Just go to the About section and click message, and I'll be checking those, and I'll get your address and all that good stuff, and ship you the DVD set for season 7. And or you can also shoot me an email at chris@smokescreenvids.com. So again, congrats Tracy, and that's Tracy from California. And thanks everybody for hanging out. Thank you moderators, really appreciate your work. You don't have to do it, and I really appreciate it because again, guys, I'm not paying them. I mean, they're just volunteering their time, and this is a great community. So thank you guys for hanging out.
I see Deborah Breedlove has the flu also. Carol Brown has the flu.
Yes.
Speedy recovery, guys. Know you feel bad. Appreciate you hanging out, Deborah.
Yeah. It's everybody's got something. I think just about it's that time of year.
It is
everywhere. So anyway, and hopefully we'll be all healed up next week too. I think it's something just kicking in from. Hopefully it's just a 24-hour stomach bug, but I don't know. We'll see. But anyway. We'll get James better, and
that's right.
We'll come back and do it again next week. So thanks for hanging out, guys. Appreciate everything. Thanks for everybody on Patreon, especially, and the new Patreons, and and still push that in-game video out there. It's got up to almost 50,000 views, but it's kind of just stopped dead in its tracks.
That really shocks me.
It shocks me that people don't. I mean, I understand there's a lot of videos and I guess articles out there about how it's going to end, but I don't think they take the time to see the detail in it. You know what I mean? That's what bothers me. It's like, I want somebody to go, oh, okay, you know, I want more people to see that and start thinking about it so we can continue the conversation because this is our last shot.
That's right.
This is our last shot. We got a year before we find out all this anyway. But, oh, happy birthday, Kiwi.
Yeah, happy birthday.
I guess just flipped over midnight somewhere, huh?
That's cool.
So happy birthday, Kiwi super fan. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.
Cannot give you back your homes or restore your dead to life, but perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our King. Perhaps I can give you justice